Good.
I didn't stop anything.
That'll be the intro. There we go.
That might actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Wildside MMA, and I'm sitting down with the star of the show, October 1st, the Raw Dog himself, Jason Danner, my man.
What's up, brother?
What's up, bro?
Thanks
How
for
are you?
coming out, man.
How has life been after October 1st, first pro fight in the books?
Lazy. I feel like a pillow in a pillowcase now, man. I feel soft.
We've been talking on and off already before sitting down right now, and you were saying earlier, like, you know, I haven't done much since October 1st, the elbow thing and all that. What's the game plan right now moving forward in pro?
I'll get this as soon as I figure out what this elbow's going on with. I'm hopping right back in there. Too short of a fight not to have a quick turnaround.
I love it. So the very first question I have to ask, and I'm excited for this one.
All right.
You have one of the most prolific nicknames that I've ever heard a fighter have, Raw Dog. What's the story behind Raw Dog for Jason Danner?
Marijuana. I was getting ready to do a short notice fight for against a rival gym for a local title in Dixon, and the promoter hit me up and was like sending me all this like medical info and whatnot. And he was like, "Hey man, you got a nickname?" I was like, "A nickname?" He was like, "Yeah, your opponent's got a nickname. He goes by like Poisonous or Poison." And I was just sitting there, and I was a little under the influence, and for some reason I was just like, Raw Dog Danner. Danner Dog, Raw Dog. I was like, oh yeah, let's go with Raw Dog Danner. And I tell you, man, it is quite a feeling when you can get 200 strangers to yell Raw Dog at you. It is like, what's my life sometimes?
I would say, because like October 1st, they were chanting Raw Dog, barking and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's definitely the fan favorite nickname for sure.
Oh yeah, I've been telling people now, they call me Raw Dog, just like my daddy and his daddy before him.
So one thing about you, Jason Danner, is you are the spotlight to any show that you go to, right? You are the star of the show. People come to watch you. You sell a massive amount of tickets anywhere that you go. What is kind of like that persona of being the crowd favorite? How does that play into who you are? Where does that come from?
It's just me, man. Like all my best friends will tell you, I'm a goof, dude. I joke with them all the time. I'm like, man, if my opponents knew how stupid I really was, they would not be intimidated by me before these fights at all. But yeah, I've always been the class clown. I always want to make people laugh and, you know, just center of attention.
Yeah.
I'm burn bright, brother.
Fair enough. I know you said Nate Landwehr had said it best, like, you know, if you ain't good, but you have that persona, people are still going to come watch you. So
yeah,
I figured
you got it or you don't, man. Some people like the pressure in the eyes, and some people don't. You know, I definitely like the feeling of winning with all the eyes on you.
Oh, yeah. So October 1st, you had your first pro fight in Clarksville, Tennessee, and that's where you fight out of. That's where you reign, Wildside MMA. Mm-hmm. What is it like? How is it training at Wildside? What's the family like, the camaraderie like? What's the team like here?
Oh, these are my brothers, bro. Like, I'd do anything for them, man. They need help financially, emotionally, anything like that, man. This is like a brotherhood around here. A lot of these guys came from our old gym, SSF, shout out to them, Ron Daly. And when we all transferred over here, I mean, we were all close-knit over there. Now there's a lot more people, a lot more new faces than there was. You know, I've got some guys here I've known and trained with for 10 years now. You know what I mean? And see somebody every day, you're bound to make a best friend.
For sure, 100%. And so, talking about training for 10 years, like, how did you get started in MMA or in combat sports? You've been doing it for a little while, right?
Yeah, I just grew up rough, man. I used to fight for fun before I ever even heard about UFC or anything like that. And I was having a bad day one day, and I just happened to run into my buddy Jacob Lynch at the gas station. He could tell I was a little heated up, like I was about to go do something stupid. And he's like, come to the gym and fight me. And, you know, I took it as a challenge, so I went down there and, you know, we fought, and I just fell in love. 2 weeks later, I had my first fight.
Wow, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I had 14 days training. Hopped in there against a guy who was 2-0. Fought him to decision. Ended up losing it, but that was my favorite fight for sure. The first
100%.
one.
That's impressive. Because most people, you hear them to talk like, man, I trained for like months and months or a year or whatever, started with kickboxing, did this and did this. So to start with 14 days and notice pretty much, it's impressive, man. It's impressive.
Yeah. It was, like I said, I just grew up fighting, man. Not afraid to get down.
Yeah.
You got to get down young. You know, it just eliminates that fear. I don't look at fighting like most people do. Me, fighting is like, you know, just a little bit of movement.
Sure. Yeah. And so, being a pro now, being 1-0, we talked about this a little bit earlier off camera, but you've been known to have some short fights, right? In your amateur career, you had multiple under a minute, under 2 minutes, under 2.5, under a first round. Your first pro fight was under 3 minutes. You continuously bring the fight to some people, and I wonder if that's kind of part of your upbringing as well, as like always wanting to fight and stuff like that. Is that always your game plan coming in, is bringing the fight to somebody versus them bringing it to you?
Oh yeah, like when I'm getting ready for these fights, these are the only thing I'm a goofy dude, but I got a lot of discipline about me, man. I'll wake up at 4 a.m. for weeks on end just to get 3-4 miles in before work, get a little workout in, and go to work. So when I do that for 8 weeks, and I'm just got my sole focus on one thing, man, I'm a little ADHD, and I'll hone in on that and be real disciplined. So the second I see him at weigh-ins, we're fighting. We're just fighting with our mouths and our brains at that point. A little psychological warfare, and then, when that bell rings, it's go time from the get-go. Like a fight, I don't like watching a fight where, everyone's trying to figure each other out, real tentative. Like, that's not me. Like, I want to be confident in every movement I make in there. And if I got 8 weeks to prepare for it, it's over with. I'm coming guns blazing every time. Right,
and so like with being that kind of, we talked earlier, that showman, that spotlight kind of fighter, the crowd favorite, sometimes that can get in the way in the mental side of fighting. But it seems like with you, like you said, you're very disciplined when it comes to that. We see that a lot with like UFC fighters, Sean O'Malley, Conor McGregor. You kind of compare yourself to those guys in the sense of the entertainment side, or you're your own dude?
Nah, I like WWE a little more.
Okay.
Like I would want to look at myself like a Stone Cold or
okay.
Come
out with 2 beers next time and crack them.
See, that's what we were gonna do this fight, but I forgot to pick up some beer. Like that was gonna be the celebration. I was gonna crack 2 together and hit a stunner on whoever was in the ring.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I don't ever compare myself to those big guys like that. I would rather be a WWE character.
Okay.
Like think Chael Sonnen. Like Chael Sonnen, how
the bad guy.
Yeah, the bad guy. But like I was just talking to somebody earlier today about this, and I was like, man, I'm that everybody loves to hate.
Yeah.
Like
there you go. I like that. I like that a lot. So at Wildside, is it Wildside MMA? Is that what you're considering?
Wildside Combat Sports.
Wildside Combat Sports.
Everybody calls it Wildside MMA.
Whatever works.
And if anybody wants to start something else, we can fight about it.
There you go. Yeah. So do you consider yourself personally a stand-up fighter, ground game specialist, you all around? What's the fighting style of Jason Danner?
I'm just going to fight you. People ask me that all the time. They want to be like, oh, you're a wrestler, or oh, you're a jiu-jitsu guy, you're this, you're that. I'm like, no, man, I'm just going to fight you from any position.
Yeah.
I wish we recorded more of our sparring here and seen some of the sparring wars, man, but, there's a lot of guys in here that are super funky with the techniques, like Keegan Agnew. That dude is funky, man.
Okay.
We call him the violent hippie.
Okay.
And he has got some funk jitsu and some funky striking, and I'm going to fight you from anywhere. We can be against the cage on the ground. I can be on my head upside down with my feet in the air, bro. I'm going to find something to hit you with.
There you go. And that's what makes you, like I said, that crowd favorite. What is, do you have any specific, like, favorite sparring partners here?
Edward Massey, Hawaii Perez, Christian Nielsen, that's our head coach.
Yeah.
Bryce Warner. Y'all got to see him. Yeah, me and him get a lot of good rounds in. And who else am I thinking of? I mean, we got a pack. We got a big gym, man. We got a lot of dudes in here. I mean, Adrian Thomas. Yeah, that dude. Yeah, he gives me the beats, man. That when you going against some of the guys in here that's got talent like that, most other gyms don't have that talent. Mm-hmm. So that's just added confidence when I'm getting ready.
100%. Speaking of confidence, looking on Tapology earlier this week, you are ranked number 10 bantamweight in the state of Tennessee after just one pro fight.
Oh yeah.
How does that play into the confidence, the mindset moving forward in your pro career?
I never really paid attention too much to the rankings. That's just more of like a childhood moment for me. Like I grew up watching WWE, and I knew who was going to fight for the world heavyweight title, who was going to fight for the U.S. title, all that. So just seeing myself on a ranking system was cool. But I kind of gave up on ranks after the amateurs, man. I had all first-round finishes against good opponents. And, I felt like I should have been number one in the state for a really long time, and they just kept putting me 2 or 3. So after that, I was just like, nah, man.
It's just a number.
Just a number. But going into the pro ranks, one fight.
It's pretty good.
I'm fighting up quick.
There you go. You have anybody you have your eyes set on for next?
Yeah, we got a couple. We got this guy, David Wilson, and a few others. There was some Appleman dude, Jonathan Appleman, out of Indiana. He's fought for EFN before.
Okay.
I'd love to smack him up. He's saying I heard he can sell some tickets. So if you see this, hit me up, bro. I'll come to your hometown. I'll fight you in front of your people.
Is there any talks right now? You have anything kind of
we ain't
whirling around, or?
Nah. That's just me, glancing through Tapology and looking at just the promotions around that are available.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the dude Jonathan is like 3-1.
Okay.
Something like that. He might be 3-0. But I'm trying to fight some good top tier opponents.
Yeah.
Starting out. I'm not trying to.
Don't want to pad the record.
No, definitely don't want to pad the record. But like you said, I got a lot of minute 20s, and some of those were against a lot of good opponents. I think I just get them off the jump. But I want to have a barn burner fight when I've got all the eyes on me.
Yeah.
The crowd's going crazy. I'm tired. He's tired. Like, that's the kind of fight I'm looking for. I want something that we can look back on as a classic. Show my son when he's older and be like, hey, you want to see Daddy get beat up?
I know after your pro fight, after October 1st, that was one thing that you said. You're like, man, I was coming in here expecting to be bloodied, battered, and all that. Like, seems like that's what you really want moving forward.
I don't want that. But that's the type of test. You know what I mean? I want the challenge. I want to be able to fight some of these names that are working their way out of the UFC right now. I'd love to get to a point where I can get negotiations to fight one of them. Somebody that's got a big name.
Yeah.
That's really what my career is focused on right now. Getting to a place where I can negotiate with a big name, go in there and do something that all my homies have seen fight on the TV before.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know right now it seems like, obviously UFC is the biggest promotion, right? The Dana White Contender Series, there's a lot of good guys coming off of that. Would that be something that you would ever be interested in moving forward and be like, hey, I'll fight on the Contender Series?
I'd fight on there in a heartbeat. Or the Challenger Series for the PFL. We've had one of our fighters fight for them before. Shout out Danny Barlow from Memphis, man. He just got it done. He a Hub City champ too.
That was a slugfest of a fight for him.
Yeah.
Because he put it on him.
Yeah, immediately, man.
Yeah.
It's always good seeing the Tennessee. I'm always rooting for the Tennessee boys.
And that was the Memphis versus Memphis fight.
Yeah.
That was.
Oh yeah, the other guy
Rambo.
was from Memphis. Yeah.
Yep. It was Memphis versus Memphis because both their guys had dropped out last minute, and then it was like, hey, we're pairing you together. Here we go.
Yeah, that's something that city will talk about for a while.
Oh yeah. Is that something that you would ever look at as fighting another Clarksville person, maybe in Clarksville or somewhere, and saying, hey, like, Battle of Clarksville?
I mean, they've had plenty of them before. I mean, I'm down to fight anybody if the money's right. You know what I'm saying? It's just really, now that I'm pro, I'm looking for the biggest and best opportunities that's going to put me to that next step to start making some real good money. Like, I make good money doing this as well because I put in seats and whatnot, but I'm trying to get an arena spot. I want to 20,000 people yelling Raw Dog.
Yeah, there you go.
Having like 1,000 is cool. But I want to break up into that next spot.
So you mentioned EFN earlier. Is there any other promotions that you are interested in fighting for? Number one, but two, like kind of eyeing or that you prefer to fight for?
Yeah, like if it came down to going to the UFC or the PFL, I would definitely pick the PFL.
Really?
Yeah, I think the PFL's got a good little thing going on. I think that's going to be where this goes. It's leaning
that
towards
tournament style.
Tournament style. Because then you see who is the best.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. A lot less dodging fights and whatnot. But locally, like Aries Fight Series, Attitude MMA, CFFC, that's one I'd really love to get on.
Yeah.
And then EFN, of course.
Yep.
EFN's been good to me the few times they fought, and I go to M1 just like the homie did.
There you go.
Wherever, as long as it bigger shows every time.
There you go. Love it, man. So what can we expect from Jason Danner in the next year, next 5 years? Like, where do you see yourself?
I'm gonna treat this like a football season or something, man. I want to get my injury healed up real quick, and then I want to bust out 4 fights rapid fire, take a month, 2 months off. You know, well, probably a little bit more than that, maybe about 3-4 months.
Take a little vacation.
Yeah, yeah. I get locked in when I start training, man. It's nothing else I want to do. But yeah, I want to knock out 4 fights, take a break, knock out 4 fights. I'd like to be 4-0, 5-0 by the end of 2024.
Love it.
Rapid fire, action-packed year.
Yeah, heck yeah. All right, Danner, we've talked about promotions, and obviously UFC, like I said, is the biggest one in my opinion. It's the one I cover the most. Who are some fights right now that you've are excited about? And I know you've got Islam Alex, you've got Kamaru Usman stepping up, you've got, fights in January of 2024 already getting announced. Who are some matchups that you're excited about, or even fighters that you just enjoy watching?
Anything Justin Gaethje, I'm in. Sean Strickland, love that dude. Love that dude for years.
A massive upset, dude, right there.
Incredible upset.
Incredible. And I was talking to Mike Merriman the day after, and it was like, dude, just the simplicity of his fight. He just walked him down the whole time. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. That's all he needed.
The trash talk made it so much better, bro. Like he beat Izzy like he was like a PETA officer or something.
Anybody else who you enjoy watching?
Yeah, O'Malley's fun to watch. I like watching those guys that aren't too technical. Like, I like watching guys that are snipers. You know, a good knockout's always good, but I like the guys that, are got the chin on it, like Korean Zombie. I love watching Korean Zombies
That
fights.
fight with Max was insane. I loved it. It was great. What are some of your predictions for some of these fights coming up?
Oh, man.
Or do you have any preferred fights for some of these guys? You mentioned Sean O'Malley. There's that bantamweight triangle right now with Aljamain, Merab, Cheeto. Who do you think they go with?
Well, at the end of the day, Merab's going to be champ. Like, don't get me wrong, I
100%.
like O'Malley and whatnot, but Merab is the guy. Cheeto and O'Malley
sells tickets.
It sells a ton of tickets. If they fight, man, I think I'm leaning towards Cheeto again. I feel like Cheeto's just got that durability, like never been dropped. Just got a granite chin, gonna walk you down the whole time. Doesn't get real tense in a firefight. He's been there before.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Cheeto winning that one. And the Kamaru Usman Hamzat fight, man, I'll be tuning in. I've watched every one of that guy. I was watching that guy before he ever even made it to the UFC.
Really?
Yeah, when he was fighting in Brave, he fought a Tennessee, or no, I think that dude's from Georgia. He fought a guy that I'd seen fight here in Tennessee before. His name was Sidney. And I watched him over there, dude, and Sidney was a bad when I seen him fight. And Hamzat just destroyed him. So I hopped on the Hamzat train super early.
I remember watching him. I think the first fight I watched him fight was the Gerard Mushash or whatever fight where he knocked him out in one punch.
Oh, yeah.
And then 11 days later came back and fought again and then beat the next guy with landing 200 freaking strikes on him. It was insane. I think he's going to be something serious.
But I love that he's entertaining too, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of those guys, like some people, don't get me wrong, I like talking just as much as the next meathead does. But at the end of the day, some people like to fight and some people don't.
Yeah.
And we were talking about energies earlier, when I walk to the ring, I want everybody that is watching me to know I am there to fight. It don't matter how I'm feeling. It's not a show. Yeah, it ain't a show at that. Don't get me wrong, I put on a show, but it's an unintentional show. I love fighting, and that's why I love watching Hamzat.
Yeah.
Actually, Ryan Collins at Hub City hit me up one day when Chimaev was fighting. He was like, man, hey, this dude reminds me of you.
There you go. That's a good comparison to have right there.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. Because, like I said, I started watching him early.
Yeah, that's
early
awesome.
in his career.
A couple rapid-fire questions I've got for you. Ready?
So
get prepared. Number one, what is your go-to meal after your weigh-in?
Fruit.
Fruit.
Immediately. I hit a fruit tray every time. Actually, this last fight, immediately after, I brought fruit trays and liquid IVs for everybody.
There you go.
Yeah.
Number two, who is your favorite sparring partner here at Wild Todd?
Adrian Thomas.
Okay.
Adrian Thomas for sure.
Very nice. Who is your greatest of all time MMA fighter?
All time? Shoo. Man, that's a rough one. I want to say like Iceman or Rampage because those are OGs, man. But honestly, here lately, it's been probably like a Justin Gaethje route, man.
Okay.
Like Justin Gaethje's got that career I just love to watch.
And then number 4, last one. Mount Rushmore's got 4 heads. Who's your top 4 MMA fighters of all time?
Top 4 all time. Let's go Johnny Bones. Let's go GSP. Let's go. I'm gonna put Connor up there just because, not skill wise. I don't think skill wise he's a GOAT, but he put it.
He's changed the sport.
He's changed the sport.
Yep.
And one last one. I say Chuck. Chuck
Iceman.
Liddell. Chuck Liddell, man.
Yeah.
I think those 3 people. The first 2 being the best skill wise, and then the second 2 changing the sport.
Yeah.
Like I just remember growing up, and you see a dude with a mohawk, don't with him.
Mohawk and then like Japanese tattoo on the back of the head.
Head tattoos or any face tattoos, stay away from them.
One more. I got one more. Who's the most overrated fighter that you've ever seen?
Overrated fighter. Me. Nah, if it was most overrated, hyped. Oh, CM Punk definitely. I don't know if y'all remember the build up to that, man, but then
It was very
a
disappointing.
lot of people was buying into like he's gonna go in there and actually fight Mickey Gall. Like get the out of here, dude.
Well, Danner, it's been a pleasure sitting with you, brother. Anything you want to add or shout out or anything like that?
I'll shout out some of my local sponsors. I got Michelle Rita that owns Michelle's Getaway 2. We've got all my people at Modern Movement, Lexi and Charlie Barnett. We got Chris Hodges, realtor for Benchmark. And Spencer Lawrence, my merch guy, man. Thank you to all of you, man, and I'm looking forward to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
And get on here after the next one.
Hey, I'll say I can't wait to see you again. Can't wait to see you back in action. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Danner.